Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're tuned into Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this evening we're putting the focus on a sensational smuggling racket that's been exposed in Karnataka. With every passing day, more details are emerging of exactly how actor Ranya Rao carried out this massive smuggling racket. And we'll talk about that in just a bit. We'll get you the details really of the modus operandi and also about whether her father, a high-ranking police official, a DGP rank officer, is involved or not. He's just issued a statement. I will run you through what he's had to say. Let's begin with the headlines. First image of smuggling accused Ranya in custody. Actor made 30 trips to Dubai in 2025 alone. Lens on DGP father accused of siphoning crores in Mysuru years ago. Amid TN language war, plea in Supreme Court over NEP, petition seeks immediate implementation of education policy in Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. BJP slams DMK, accuses it of distracting voters from Stalin's misgovernance. Aurangzeb showdown peaks after Samajwadi Party. AIMIM also heaps praise on Aurangzeb, calls Mughal Emperor noble and claims he didn't loot like the British. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta on a surprise inspection spree, visits schools, reviews water, sanitation and roads in Shalimar Bagh of Delhi. Says public infra was in shambles for 10 years. India condemns External Affairs Minister's security breach in London after pro-Khalistan mob heckled Jaishankar in London. India reiterates, says serious security breach took place in UK. And Muslim cleric criticizes cricketer Mohammad Shami. Cleric slams Shami for not observing fast during Roza, as Shami was seen drinking energy drinks, and his family now speaks out in his defense. An actor, the daughter of a top cop, arrested, caught red-handed with nearly 15 kgs of gold on her at the Bengaluru airport. The most sensational smuggling racket yet that's been busted in Karnataka, and we'll get you all the details here on Super 6. But here's the very first image of Ranya Rao in custody. You can see in the picture bruised eyes, we don't know how. Currently in judicial custody, she is seeking bail, but will have to wait because the court today reserved its order. So she remains behind bars for the next 24 hours at least. This picture is a sharp contrast to what we've been showing you in the last 24 hours. Images, videos of her in some of her movie roles as an actor in Sandalwood. We're going to be getting you details of how Ranya Rao has landed up in custody. What is the kind of smuggling racket she was running, how long she's been at it, and the details will shock you of how rampantly she was doing this for the last 1 year or more. Let's begin by getting you those details. Let's break down for you first how Ranya Rao, Sandalwood actor, daughter of a DGP rank officer, carried out this crime for over a year. Ranya essentially taped gold bars, imagine each of that 1 kilo, taped gold to her body, and this was to her thighs as well as her waist with a belt. These are massive gold bars, each of them weighing 1 kilo. She also hid the gold inside her clothes and jacket. So the jacket had pockets, so she could stuff heaps of gold into it and walk out of the airport with no one finding out. And here's the stunner. This wasn't something Ranya did once or twice. She traveled to Dubai 27 times this year. Essentially 27 times in the last 2 months alone. Imagine that. And every single time, 27 times that she's traveled in January and February, she brought back 14 to 15 kgs of gold. For each kilo that she managed to smuggle, bring into India, she received 1 lakh rupees as a payment to her. And so obviously made an unbelievable, massive sum of money smuggling gold from Dubai. Every time she traveled, she wore the same jacket. every time she traveled, she wore the same belt because these items were specifically made, customized, so it could hold so many gold bars. And every time, we understand, it was somewhere about 12 to 14, 12 to 15 kilos of gold. So those exact number of gold bars. This obviously translated to Ranya being filthy rich. And here's proof. A raid of her house led to massive seizures. 2.67 crores was found in cash at her apartment. This is, by the way, in Laval Road in Bengaluru. If you know Bengaluru, you know this is one of the plushest parts of the city. So 2.67 crores in cash, gold worth another 2 crores. 3 large boxes have been seized, but we don't really know what the contents are as of now. The total value of all the items seized is a whopping 17.29 crores. And this is just the beginning of the investigation. So we don't know what really will emerge in the days to come as the probe deepens. So if she was running this smooth racket, how did Ranya Rao actually get caught? It was her multiple visits to Dubai that raised suspicion. Imagine this, last year, she's made 30 trips to Dubai and perhaps realizing that, look, this is easy, no one's catching me, I'm managing to walk out of the airport without any sort of checks, wearing a normal jacket. This year, in a matter of 2 months, January and February, we're in March right now, she was nabbed on March 4th. So in January and February alone, she's made 27 trips. And this despite having no business or personal reasons to visit the Gulf. And that's what got everyone suspicious. Considering that gold smuggling is rampant from Dubai, these trips by the actor for no reason, despite having no interests per se in Dubai, is what was deemed suspicious and what led to really this kind of an investigation. So let's tell you what happened on March 4th, the day that she was arrested. Ranya, as she's been for a year plus, tried to walk out of the Bengaluru airport loaded with all of the gold bars around her waist, in her jacket, in fact tied around her thigh as well. She was accompanied by a constable. This constable has been identified as Baswaraj, who reportedly always accompanied her and helped her bypass security checks. Now, when officials, this was on March 4th, by the way, when officials approached Ranya saying, we need to physically check you, she refused. And then Constable Baswaraj also tried to stop this check, tried to stop them. Baswaraj immediately told officials, as is always the case in India, do you know who her father is? And mentioned that her DGP dad is in fact why she's got an escort, so stop the search. But officials had a specific tip-off about Ranya. They refused to stop. They proceeded with their search. What did they find? 14.8 kilos of gold. Gold bars all around her body. And she's walking out of the airport like that, like she has for so many trips. As we told you, almost 57 trips that she's made. So is this just one person involved? Obviously, looking at how intricately this was planned, there are questions about who else is involved. Several names have come to the fore, and let's get you those details. First, of course, at the heart of this is Ranya Rao herself, actor, caught smuggling this gold red-handed. Then there's her father, her stepfather rather, Ramachandra Rao. He is a DGP of, in fact, one of the housing corporations in Karnataka, so top-ranking official. He's her stepfather. And it's because of this, by the way, that she used to get an escort. But the other name you need to know is Jatin Hukeri. Ranya married him about 3 months ago, reportedly in a lavish wedding that took place at Taj West End, which is one of the premier 5-star hotels in Bengaluru. Then there's the constable that I referred to earlier, Baswaraj. Now, he is being questioned, is what we hear, because he helped Ranya evade customs. Ranya would take his help every time she touched down in India, every time she touched down in Bengaluru. Again, she got this escort because of her stepdad being a DGP rank officer. There's a question mark right now over who helped her in Dubai. The fact that with all these gold bars, she was walking through security, how is that happening? There's a question mark on that, but obviously the investigation will reveal who was helping her in Dubai, or for that matter, who was supplying this gold and expecting it to be smuggled, who was paying her. Big question mark on all of that. Let's take this one at a time. Of the cast of characters that we just showed you, the biggest face right now over whom there's a question mark over what role he really played is, in fact, Ramachandra Rao, who is currently a DGP rank officer. But here's why he's under the scanner. Because previously too, let's go back to 2014, when he held the position of IGP Southern Range rank. There was a question mark over whether he was involved in another case. What was this case? It was a Hawala racket. Mysuru cops had actually seized a bus with Hawala money. Now, the official release put out by the cops, the version that they put out, is that Hawala money of 20 lakh rupees was seized by them. This cash was seized from the bus. Mind you, this happened in 2014 under the watch of Ramachandra Rao, who is Ranya's stepdad. Now, a businessman, a Kerala-based businessman, spoke out. He said this is not true. The bus actually contained a whole lot more of money, which according to him, the cops went ahead and pocketed. According to this businessman's complaint, 2.07 crore rupees was allegedly stolen from the seized bus. 2.07 crores versus what the cops said. They said 20 lakhs. So he maintains that this money was stolen. And so the Karnataka CID kicked off an investigation in which Ramachandra Rao's gunman was arrested, allegedly for taking cash. Several informants were taken into custody. All of this happened, mind you, under Ramachandra Rao's watch. Therefore, he was removed as the IGP Southern Range and got posted instead in Bengaluru. This happened in 2014. So it's not the first time he's been in the glare of a controversy. And now this particular case. Obviously, if Ranya was getting this kind of a police escort, there will be questions about whether her father knew how she was using his clout to get away every single time and evade customs. And obviously, if it's such a massive racket that she was running for the last 1 year, there are officials, perhaps high-ranking ones involved. We don't know if that's her father. Then there's a question mark over her husband. Ranya's husband, Jatin Hukeri, got married to Ranya 4 months ago. In fact, Jatin also accompanied his wife during her many Dubai trips in the last 2 months repeatedly when she went to Dubai. What we're hearing from our sources is that he also accompanied her. So that's why the cops are also looking into whether he's involved. He's an architect by profession. Ranya wasn't living with her parents, but she was living rather with her husband, with Jatin, in their apartment in Laval Road. They had only recently moved there in Bengaluru, known as one of the most poshest localities in the city. Let's show you what that area actually looks like. Sagar Raj filed this report from Ranya's residence, which, remember, was also raided by officials. This is where Jatin and Ranya live together.
Goods smuggling case involving actor Ranya Rao, daughter of a DGP officer, is nothing but a movie story. What we get to hear from our sources is that Ranya Rao used to travel close to 4 to 5 times in 15 days to Dubai. And when she used to return carrying kgs of gold. Last time when she was caught, she was carrying around 12.8 kgs of gold in a jacket which was customized to keep all those gold bars. Along with that, she was also wearing a wrist belt, which is also a customized one. And once she reaches airport, she will reach this particular house. This is a house of Ranya Rao in Laval Road here in Bengaluru. This is in one of the posh area in Bengaluru city. And she had recently purchased one of the flats here in this particular mansion. And she was recently married in the month of November. After her marriage, she purchased this particular flat and moved. And when DRI officials raided the house, they had also seized a few gold bars along with 2 crore rupees money in this particular mansion. And thereafter, she has been taken into custody. As we speak now, the investigation is undergoing with the DRI officer. What we also get to learn is that she took advantage of the protocol which was been given to her since she is a DGP daughter and misused and carried gold bars in her jackets, innerwears, and also few bars she tied on her thighs when she smuggled from Dubai to Bengaluru. With the Shimurti Sagaraj reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
Let's get you a detailed statement that's come in from Ranya's father, her stepfather, Ramachandra Rao, who's a DGP rank officer. He's again distanced himself completely from this particular controversy and the smuggling racket that his daughter is involved in. This time with a long emotional statement, Ramachandra Rao has said, "This is an extremely difficult time for my family and for me. We are struggling to process it." Ranya and her husband got married last year, and since then they've maintained complete independency. She stopped visiting the family home, and there's a definitive separation between us and them. Now you've got Ramachandra Rao in that statement also saying, "For years I've dedicated myself to my work with honesty and integrity." And despite this lifelong dedication, my reputation and family's future are now being tarnished by something beyond our control. He's then gone on to say, I am a grieving parent. I had no knowledge of such an unimaginable situation unfolding in my life. So Ramachandra Rao, in a detailed statement, now making it very clear that he had absolutely nothing to do with Ranya Rao. But obviously the spotlight will be on him, especially since Ranya would refer to her father and get that police escort every single time to smuggle gold. Sagai Raj is joining us with more details on this. Sagai, detailed emotional statement that's coming from the stepfather right now, but no clarity, no clarification on whether he knew about Ranya using this police escort every single time, dropping his name at the drop of a hat to evade customs.
See, without informing his father, she cannot get the kind of a protocol that she was getting. She will not get the provision to get away from the customs office, because every time she reaches there, she need to inform officer. Probably the DGP would have informed in the first time, and thereafter she might have taken advantage of it. But definitely he might be aware about her travel. Probably he is not aware that whether she is carrying a gold or not. It is all subject to investigation. We cannot come to a conclusion. But whether the father was aware or not is a big question, because without knowing him, without informing him, or without his knowledge, she cannot get these kind of provision inside the airport.
Very, very true. And there will be questions about that, about whether she had approached him seeking an escort. Did he know why this escort was needed? We don't know just yet. It's something that we'll see what really the investigation throws up. For now, he's not really been removed or suspended or any of that. He maintains that he's completely innocent. Thanks very much, Sagai, for joining us with those details. The kind of twists and turns emerging in this particular story, absolutely shocking. Tomorrow, we will see what really happens on Ranya's bail plea, considering the court reserved its order on that. But in the meanwhile, trouble clearly mounting for the actor as details are emerging of how she pulled off this kind of a massive smuggling racket. Getting your news from Karnataka. Remember the 2022 Hubli riots case when you had a frenzied mob attacking a police station? Well, the Karnataka government has actually moved swiftly to withdraw the riots case, completing the process from cabinet approval to filing a withdrawal petition in just 2.5 months. Mind you, many of the accused were AIMIM leaders. They were given a clean chit. It was on October 10th last year that the Karnataka cabinet decided to withdraw 43 cases, including over the riots that had broken out in the Hubli police station. And you had also a petition being filed in the court seeking withdrawal of the same. With the process being completed now, it means that all of the accused have now been let off completely scot-free. This has, for obvious reasons, led to also a political fight. The opposition particularly questioning why all of the accused have been let off, given a clean chit, saying this is appeasement by the Siddaramaiah government.
आज का कांग्रेस पार्टी नेशनलिस्ट कांग्रेस पार्टी नहीं है. कम्युनल और क्रिमिनल को सपोर्ट करने वाला पार्टी है कांग्रेस पार्टी. अपीजमेंट पॉलिटिक्स कर रहा है वोट बैंक की वजह से. उसके लिए पुलिस स्टेशन में कौन आग लगाने के लिए कोशिश किया, कौन हमला किया, वो क्रिमिनल को सपोर्ट कर रहा है, कम्युनल को सपोर्ट कर रहा है कांग्रेस पार्टी वोट बैंक सिक्योर करने के लिए. उसके वजह से लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का सिचुएशन इतना हालत तो हो गया है, वो कांग्रेस का कम्युनल और क्रिमिनल पॉलिटिक्स की वजह से हो चुका है.
Very serious offense, criminal offense did by those writers against them, and they were in the jail for more than 1 year, and recently they are on the bail. So if these cases are withdrawn, there should not be any control over the law and order in Karnataka. And what are the effects withdrawal of the cases in Udaygiri, in Mysore, Udaygiri, what happened earlier last month, same thing happened in the entire state. Offences will be given encouraged. So only for the purpose of appeasement of the minorities, the government of Karnataka is taking these steps. It is completely wrong. It is against the rules and law procedure.
So it is nothing new. It is as expected from Siddaramaiah and Congress government. This is a government which is hell bent upon taking care of its vote bank at the cost of country and at the cost of social harmony. But Congress government, just in order to appease Muslims, just in order to appease the minority vote bank, they are moving at a lightning speed in order to withdraw this case. This is there in their DNA. We can't expect much better from them.
BJP is only doing emotional politics in Karnataka because they are unable to match the development that is taking place in Karnataka. Even the governor's address very clearly established that the Bharatiya Janata Party has throughout been telling lies to the people that because of guarantees there is no development in Karnataka. They must come out with what is the development that they did in the 4 years and what is the development we have done in the last 2 years. Let them match it and show the people. Therefore, they are unable to digest this fact, unable to digest their defeat in the by-elections.
That's all we have time for in this edition of Super 6.